Stop bothering us with that deadline, we've got this. Sure thing, kids. Hello everyone. This story is somewhat fresh, and I'm still smirking when I remember it, so I decided to share some background. I, 27F, work in IT. I'm a well-respected and known member of the IT party circle, where I live. So to speak, I am not jaw-dropping, but people know me, and I have a very good reputation. One of the things is that I got to the point in my career when I wanted to give back. So I started mentoring others. Mostly I mentored adults or those who were closer to me in age. Career advice. How to apply for different exchange programs that can boost their professional growth and improve their speaking and writing skills, the usual. But I always was one up for the challenge and decided to try and mentor kids. It is not a secret that IT and STEM are increasingly popular right now, and more people want to get into the field. Therefore, there are myriads of boot camps, hackathons, and mentoring programs for all ages. So, I signed up for one such program as a mentor. Teach kids how to code with blocks. Tell them what AI is, and how to develop an MVP. It sounds more complicated than it might look at first glance, especially when you are an educated professional with a degree. Explaining concepts that are rather complicated to children who may have less than 1/50th of your tech knowledge. I must add that participation in the said program gives kids credits and can help them get into better schools or even be eligible for some university scholarships later in life. So only pros, if you ask me. The only thing is that they must upload their MVP project to the site before the deadline. I was assigned 2 teams. Primary early middle schoolers, Team A, and high schoolers, Team B. Both had 5 members, and the youngest, in Team A, was 8Y. Oh, I thought, OMG, that will be tough. Thinking about Team A and how I am up for a tough time. Also, since they are so young, the parents of the kids must observe Team A meetings and my lessons. And parents equals problems. Ironically, despite my worries, even with help from the parents, the kids in Team A were doing great. But the same can't be said about Team B. A little side note. With my mentees, I have 2 rules. 1. At least 1 meeting per week. At least 50% of the group must be present. 2. Communication. When I type something, like tasks to do or reply to a question asked before, I ask my mentees to respond. Not even text. A thumbs up emoji will also suffice. We all know that read status doesn't mean much when you can accidentally open an app for a second and swipe it to clear RAM on the phone. So, Tima attended all the meetings and responded to my assignments. There was a curriculum provided by a program to follow, and they were very receptive overall. When Team B started okay, but then started not showing on meetings and leaving assignments read but unresponded. I understand they have a lot on their plate, exams are no joke, but they disregarded my time, which I will not be okay with. I have a job to do, and mentoring in that program was 100% volunteering, and there was no payment for the mentors. There was, however, a very strict deadline, the middle of April, when their MVPs must be loaded onto the website for later judgment. I, even when pissed, am a professional first and an angry lady second. So I wrote multiple messages asking for updates on the project, with warnings at the end that deadline is April 15th. Don't miss it. After one such message, the so-called leader of Team B, Sam, wrote to me this. Hi. I know that you probably mean well, but you only bother the team with those deadline messages. Can't you, chill out? When we need you we will contact you and all. Just get off our hair and let us do our job. I'm sorry if that hurts your feelings. It is what it is. Less than 3 After I read that message, I was like, WTF? But I did respond that I would stop messaging if that caused tension within the team. Though, the deadline is still on the 15th, and the site would reject any application that was uploaded after. Just stop. Okay? Geez X, said Sam to that. So I decided, okay, I'm washing my hands out of this. Malicious compliance. Since that message, I haven't written anything to Team B. I had scheduled no meetings, updates, or checkups about the curriculum, their understanding, and definitely not a written reminder of the deadline once. Deadline came. Team A uploaded their project with no issues, and their parents even bought me a nice box of chocolate as a thank you gesture. Just like the deadline came and went, Team B started bombarding chat, asking me to help because something is wrong with the site. We can't upload our project. Quote, I entered the chat and said, yes, it will not upload. No, it is not an issue with the site. The deadline has passed, so if you try to upload, it will only show you an error message. I warned you. Kids, no extra credits. No nothing. The rules of that program are simple, but they are hard, no exceptions, ones. Team B tried to blame me, saying that as a mentor, it was my job to ensure they would succeed. I reminded them that my job as a mentor is to provide support and guidance, keep track of their progress, and remind them of the deadline. Which all of the above they, via Sam, asked me not to. And since I respected their boundaries, I did exactly what they had requested. They can sulk as much as they want. I have all our communication in writing, so they don't have a leg to stand when trying to accuse me of sabotaging them in the program. Tough luck, kids. Actions have consequences. The kids will either learn from this or continue to ignore deadlines. Good for you. I read a story about a teacher, I think in the US, that was sacked for failing all the students that didn't turn the work in on time. The world has gone mad. At what point did someone say, let's reward poor performance? You did what they asked you to do, and they learned an important lesson. I mean, you did teach them a valuable lesson, even if it wasn't the one they wanted. Please find a way to say, it is what it is, in response to their complaints. As a high schooler, I would have absolutely loved an opportunity like that. School wasn't something I ever found particularly interesting or engaging. I coasted through with minimal effort and somehow still came out with decent grades. Learning to code would have grabbed my attention like nothing else. You did what Sam rudely asked of you. Seems like the team needs to know Sam didn't want you to bother them anymore and you did as he asked. Woman shrugging. Okay, what a lot of people don't seem to understand is that teenagers who think they know better will never listen to you if you are not an authority figure who can actually punish them, i.e. fail them, cut them from the team, remove privileges, access to services, incarcerate them in accordance to the law, etc. In fact, the threat of such punishment isn't enough sometimes, and the teens might only change after being punished. There is literally nothing OP can do to make them change their mind. She has no authority to punish them. The dynamics of the group is already stacked against OP. No one in the group stood up for OP and said, hey, maybe we should attend these meetings. In the end, this isn't a life or death situation. The project obviously wasn't important enough for the teens. OP's time is completely voluntary and any additional effort will not change the end result. Instead, OP was able to concentrate more on the younger group and help them. That's more efficient use of OP's time. Sometimes the most important lessons you learn are the ones that hurt the most. Is it possible for some of them to do this? Or another similar Program again another time? I'm assuming they might have to reapply or something. But still. I might get downvoted for this, but I agree with the actions of op. Kids these days are very entitled and think they know everything. Everything is made easy for them now, so they don't really have to work overly hard to achieve much. I don't feel this is preparing them for the realities of life. They told you they didn't want your help. There are consequences to your actions. Failing is a hard lesson to learn, and often failure is where we learn the most. I feel confident that these kids will be more respectful of the help they are offered in future and not expect to be spoon-fed along the way, therefore developing responsible, capable and independent humans. Should have added at the end of your message the "I'm sorry if that hurts your feelings. It is what it is." Less than 3. Man, Team B needed to learn to chill. It's just a deadline. Tears of joy, tears of joy, tears of joy, tears of joy, tears of joy. Welcome to the real world, kids. Tough luck, kids. Well, I'd say they need to chill out. Geez, less than 3. I have a sneaking suspicion they still don't get it and are all ultimately blaming you for the failure, with the full support of their parents. Hopefully not. But even if so, I do hope they come around someday and own it. Life is much harder when you can't learn from your mistakes. May I ask, what does MVP stand for? You use it, but never explained it. And thus the importance of audit trails is also taught. Edited for typos. As a teacher, that was satisfying on so many levels. Q. I love you for this. But you mangled 2 different words together. Q. A movie term. Which is the one you were looking for? And Q. A line in which to wait. To create K. A word that doesn't exist. The word you were looking for was Q. Malicious compliance. Nice compliance. I'd be fuming too if I get a message like that. Though I can relate to being demotivated in a group chat that constantly pings messages about deadlines. I couldn't deal with that anxiety well, but to completely cut your help off like that is unacceptable. I hope those kids learned, if not to meet deadlines on time, to communicate more properly and with respect.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Ericast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.